Hey, what's up guys, it's OSG back with a new series of best software houses, and today we are starting with Thalamus. Thalamus was one of the great software houses and they made some great games for the C64. In this video we will go through all 14 of them in order of greatness. Thalamus nearly always did well in Zap64 and Crash reviews, and why wouldn't they, as they actually published both magazines. They worked with some great developers and also musicians such as Rob Hubbard and Matt Gray, and were one of the first to use the Mix-E loading system in Delta, where the user could mix and change the loading music. Okay, let's get on with a countdown. In last place is Heatseeker. Now Heatseeker is a bit of a Marmite game, as you either love it or hate it. I however fall into the hate category. I love Thalamus, but for me this just doesn't feel like a Thalamus game, and to be honest I have never understood what to do and quickly become bored. In 13th place we have Summer Camp. To the eye this isn't a bad game, but it's plagued with terrible controls that make it very frustrating to play. Twelfth place is taken by Sanction, and this ticks all the Thalamus boxes for great graphics, sound effects and music, but sadly the gameplay lets it down as it's repetitive and ridiculously hard. Winter Camp is in 11th place, which is a follow up to Summer Camp, and I have to say, while not being great, this is miles better than the first game, mostly down to the difficulty level being more bearable. In 10th place we have Quid X, which is a nice little puzzle game with music from the great Matt Gray. Problem is, for me it becomes boring quite quickly, but I know some people really love this game. Ninth place is taken by Hawkeye, and this is a game I bought back in the day just for the box art. The game itself looks great, but I found it a bit boring. It has to be mentioned though that this game has a great soundtrack and intro tune that is one of Jerome Tell's best scores. Delta takes 8th place, and I know that a lot of people like this game, and it is always mentioned for the excellent music by Rob Hubbard, but as far as side-scrolling shooters go, it's not really one of my favourites. It's more of a memory game than an exciting shooter, if you ask me. In 7th place is Snare. Now Snare is a real overlooked gem of a game that just oozes Thalamus. It's a shoot 'em up with a puzzle element which was pretty unique at the time. This is a game that you will need to invest some time in and get a true feel for the game. Once you do, you will love it. Sixth place is taken by Retrograde. I really like Retrograde. It's a great shooter that gets even better when you get your weapon upgraded to a decent level. It looks really nice and the controls are so responsive. Noby The Ardvark is in 5th place, and this has to be one of the best looking games on the C64. It's a pretty decent platform game too, but it does have one problem. The difficulty level is really high. So high, sometimes it becomes unenjoyable. In 4th place is Hunter's Moon. This has great gameplay, beautiful graphics and excellent sound. It's a shoot 'em up with a difference, and a game that I play regularly still. The game style sort of reminds me of Time Pilot, which I also love, and if you haven't played Hunter's Moon, I suggest you give it a try. You won't be sorry. Third place goes to Creatures 2. This was the sequel to Creatures, and for me it never actually lived up to that game. Looks wise it's great, maybe even better than the original, but there's something about the broken up gameplay that made it less enjoyable than the first game, like a load of mini games concatenated together. Creatures takes 2nd place, and this is not only one of the best Thalamus games, but it's also one of the best platform games on the C64. As I said previously, the second game felt split up, but this game just continuously flows and it's a pleasure to play. And now, in 1st place, it's Armalite. Armalite on the C64 is a truly great shoot 'em up. This version is even better than the Amiga version, and as a massive shoot 'em up fan, I love it. But that hasn't always been the case. As a kid, I never got on with this game. It was just too hard. But now it just clicks with me, and I love firing this up and playing it still today. Okay, that's it from me. Let me know in the comments below what your order would have been, and if you have any suggestions of other software houses you would like me to cover, tell me and I'll make a video on that. Till next time, this is OSG signing out.